Hello guys, today I am going to show you how you can make a snake game by your own with the help of C language. After watching this video completely, I assure you that you will be able to make your own game. To watch this video, you must be clear with the basics of C language. Even if you are not clear with the basics, then after watching this video, your basics will be definitely cleared. After watching this video, you will be able to build your own logic in building this type of games. There, there is going to be 2 to 3 parts of this video as I cannot complete the whole game in just one video. So please watch all the parts of this. So now let's get started. Before starting, I would like you to tell some of the important functions that we are going to use in our main code. There are two functions that you must be aware of, so that I will be using in the main code. You are already knowing its purpose of use. So let's learn about the two functions. The two functions names are kbhit and rand function. So first, let us study about kbhit function. So the full form of this kbhit is keyboard hit function. So as the name suggests, these functions tells us the key that you are pressing on your keyboard. Now, this kbhit function is been declared in conio.h header file. So it's necessary for us to include this header file while we are using this function. So now suppose I had written a short code. I will be writing code along with you so that you understand what is the purpose of me to write this line of you, so that you can understand each and every line of the code. See, this is a very short code in which I had written, I had run first of all infinite loop while one. It means you are doing an infinite loop, and inside while I had written if kbhit, means if you are pressing any keyboard keys, then it will enter into this if loop, and inside the if loop I have written break. So if you are entering any key on your laptop, this loop will exit from if as well as while loop. And suppose if you're not pressing any key, then it will just simply print hello. So now let's first of all compile this code and see what happens. Okay, so see, as you can see, the infinitely times hello has been printed on the screen. Now as soon as we press any key, this will stop. The execution of this is stop. Now suppose I want to know which key does the user has pressed. So now see how you can do that. Suppose I want to know on pressing which key the actually the function stops. So for that I initially declared a variable named C, and I am doing here C. Now what does this get ch function does is actually it actually fetches the key and it stores its value in this variable C. Actually this C variable is character, so you must press any character key only, that is any alphabet key. Now I want to print that key, so I must write printf. Now the key that you are pressing will be printed. Now if I am just commenting this line printf hello. Now if you will compile and run this code, then suppose if you are pressing, I am pressing G. Now see, here the character name will be printed G. So I hope you must be clear with this function kbhit. Now we will study about this rand function, that is rnd. Now in this function I will firstly erase all this. Now in this rand is used. Rand basically what is the use of rand? That it generates a big number, any a random it generates any random number. Now see, it will be cleared if you see a example of it. See, I am firstly giving you example of rand function. Now see, what does this will do is, for if you are using this rand function, then it's necessary for you to include this header file. Actually, this rand function is been declared in this header file, so it's necessary for you to use this header file. Now, this what does this rand function will do? It will generate any random or very big number, and you are doing its modulo by 20. Now, what this modulus will do? The answer will be definitely less than 20, because if any number is been divided by 20, the remainder what you will get will be definitely less than 20, and that remainder we are going to store in this variable a, and we are actually printing this a as our output. Now let's compile the code and see what's the output. Okay, it's showing an error. That is okay. I had done a spelling mistake in writing this header file, so let's correct it. It's htdlib. Now let's compile. Okay, see, the answer of this is 1, as you here can see. 1 means it must definitely generate a number. For let's suppose the number generated must be 101, and it has it 101 will be must have been divided by 20, so the remainder left is 1, and it has shown the answer. Now I hope you are clear with the basics of these two functions. These two functions we are going to use in our main code. So now let's move on to the main code. See, before moving on to the main code, I will first like to clarify you about functions. What are actually functions are? Functions are generally used if we want to repeat some particular thing in the code. So we make functions by any name and call the functions in our main code. This will even reduce the size of the main code. Firstly, we are going to make boundary of our game, as you can see on your screen. So now, as you can see on the screen, we will first make the logic to build a boundary. We will make two variables, namely I and j, for our boundaries. Then uh, we will create width. I had taken width value as 60 and height value as 20. This you can take of the value of your own. Now we will make a function named draw. Now in this function, we are going to build a logic to print the boundary of our game. So now as you can see, this is the basically the logic to print a rectangular box. Now this is, you can see the code. I written this code to just to print this box, but I just don't need a box. Even I want empty spaces. I would just want its boundary. I don't want the inner stars. So I have to make a logic in such a way that the inner stars gets deleted and only the boundary stars, that is all these stars only remains. So I am using a if condition for it. See, this is if condition is just for the boundary. Means if I equals to 1, it means that I am talking about the first row, and if j equals to 1, I am talking about the first column. So this we had built a logic in which, okay, there is showing some, okay. See, now as you can see on the screen, just the boundary is been printed. The rest of the stars has been eliminated, and we will make our snake game inside it. So now we are going to make the logic uh, to print the snake and to print the fruit inside this boundary. Now see, to print the snake and to print the fruit, we are going to declare two variables for the snake, that is x and y, and I am even going to declare two more variables, that is fruit x and fruit y, for the fruit that the snake is going to eat. Now see, as you can see on the screen, this boundary you can treat this boundary as you are doing on the graph paper. You can treat each and every point as a x and y coordinate. Firstly, we are going to print the initial position of the snake and initial position of the fruit. So for this we need to make, so for this we are going to make a function named setup. In this we are going to declare the initial position of the snake and as well as the fruit. See, I am going to declare one more variable, that is game over variable named game over. Now what actually this game over will do is the, if the snake is been moving in this position, then the snake over variable will be assigned to value 0. But as soon as the snake hits the boundary, that means the snake immediately dies, then this variable will be 1. We will assign this variable value as 1 so that we are able to know that the snake has hit the boundary and the game will be immediately over. So we will initially assign this variable as 0. Now we are going to print the initial position of our snake. So let's say I am taking the initial position of our snake S, width divided by 3. It means that our width is actually 60, and if 60 is been divided by 3, then the answer will be 20. So our initial position of x will be, x coordinate will be 20. And let's say I am taking y as height divided by 2. It means our initial position of y will be 10. Now I am going to print the fruit x and y coordinates. So for this I am going to make use of rend function. Now see, in this line I have written fruit x equals to rend modulo 60. It means that generate a very big number and the answer and then it will be divided by 60. So our remainder will definitely be less than 60. So our x coordinate will be inside that box only. Now we are going to print our y coordinate, that is fruit y equals to rnd modulo 20. Now see, we are here taking y as modulo 20 because we have declared our height as 20. So this is basically the logic to develop fruit x and y coordinates. Now I don't want to print our fruit position on our boundary. So for this I have to do if fruit x equals to 1, then go to, I am going to make use of go to function, go to label 1, and I will declare label 1 here only. So what actually this is doing is, suppose if if fruit x answer comes 1, then it means that it is actually printing that position of fruit on the boundary that I don't want. So I am doing if fruit x is 1, then go to label 1. That is, this loop will again execute and it will generate any other number. The same thing I will use for y. So now I am going to declare one more variable named score, that is our score will be printed, and I will assign this its initial value as 0. So now we will call this setup function in our main code before the draw function. So now firstly let's test. Now see, we have to make certain changes where we had made logic to print blank space. The reason for these changes is that we even need to print fruit and snake in the blank space. Now see, where we had written the blank space logic is this. we even want to print this snake and fruit, so we have to do some certain changes over here. So instead of writing this, I am going to use a condition here that if. So now as you can see, this is basically the logic to in the in the earlier we had just print this much. So what would happen that we even want to print our snake as well as the fruit. So we had add this much condition, that is if my I is equals to y and j is equals to x, then it will, this O is basically our initial coordinates of our snake. Now this I, if I equals to fruit y and j equals to fruit x, this is basically my initial coordinates of our fruit. Then I will printf f, else I will print a blank space. So now let's see compile what happens after compiling. It's showing an error of semicolon. See now, as you can see on your screens, that our snake's initial position as well as our fruit position is been printed. Now we will go to the step number 3 of our coding part. That is, now we will make logic to move snake up, down, left and right. For this we are creating a function named input, and we are going to make use of kbhit, that is keyboard hit function. So for this we are going to make another function named input. Now as you can see, I had just written if kbhit then switch get ch, and I have written one case, that is if case 75, then the value of flag will be assigned to 1 and it will break. Now actually what is 75? 75 is the ASCII value of the key of the left key. As you can see on your screens, the 4 keys on your keyboard, the 75 is the ASCII value of that key. Similarly, I am writing this in my comment. Now this 75 is the ASCII value of left key, 77 is of right key, 72 is of up key, and 80 is of down key. So we are going to make use of these 4 keys to play our game. Now as you can see, I had even put a variable x here. So what it will do will, that if some user wants to quit the game from the middle, then if he presses X from the keyboard, then the game over variable will be 1 and the game will immediately be end. So now this is basically if any user presses left key, that is its ASCII code 75 will be saved over here, and it will fetch this case, that is first case 75, and the flag variable will be assigned to 1. So we even want has to initialize this flag variable over here, so the our flag value will be 1. Now if some user presses right key, then here get ch will store value 77 and it will directly assign to this case, and the flag value will be 2 will be 2. Similarly, the same logic is for up and the down key. Now we are going in the now we are making some another function named make logic. Now see, I had make this function make logic. So what will happen when if you are hitting left key, then it will assign get ch value to 75, then this value will make the flag value as 1. Now suppose the flag value will be 1, then it will directly go into enter into this case 1, and it will decrement the value of x coordinate. So our snake will move to the left side. Now suppose you are pressing right key, that is the 77 will be then it will directly assign it go to this case, that is case 77, and our flag value will be 2. And here then i- as here the flag value will be 2, it will go into the second case and our x coordinate will be incremented, so our snake goes to the right. Now we our one task is left, that is to initialize this both function in our main code. Now see, we will first define input function, then we will define in make logic function. Now we want to execute this thing, we are going to write this thing in an infinite loop because we want to do this infinite times. So for using an infinite loop, I am going to use while one. Now the sequence must be cleared in your mind why I had written firstly the draw function, because see, as soon as what will happen after execution, that firstly the compiler will be over here, then it will execute this setup function, that it will execute our boundaries, then it will go enter into this infinite loop while one. Then firstly we are written draw function, that what will happen into draw function. See, in our draw function, this x and y coordinates of the snake as well as the fruit will be printed. Then there is our input function. We have written this input and make logic function is just to decrement the just to move the snake upside down, left or right, in which direction you want. So let's firstly the compile this code and see what happens. See now this, okay, as you can see, our loop is been as we have written this in to infinite loop, it is executing many times. So to get rid of this problem, I am just going to make some changes. See, to get rid of this problem, I am just going to write one line over here, that is I want to clear the screen, that is so that this boundaries that was printed multiple times, that is not printed. So I am just writing over here system CLS. So this will help to solve our problem. Now see, let's see what happens after compiling. Now as you can see, it is only printed one time. It is not running in our multiple loops, as the previous screen has been already cleared by that function. Now if I am pressing upward arrow, our snake is moving in upward direction. As you can see, the position of O is changing in upward. Now I am pressing when left, it is moving in left. Now when I am pressing right key, it is moving in the right direction. As you can see, the boundaries are continuously printing again and again as the code is been running so fast. If you want to decrease the speed of the code, then you can put a delay to reduce. Now after this much of task, you are done with the 60% of the part of this game. Now the task is to just to increase the value of the just to increase the size of the snake as well as to eat our fruit. Now this will be covered in my next video because already the video length is been increased too much. So guys, please stay tuned for the next video.